Listener discretion is advised.
Like I said at the top, I just mentally was not in a place, having not left my house in so long, and the like society crumbling around me, to like do something really dark and sad.
Right. Yeah,
Good.
of course.
So
Self-care, baby.
There wasn't like that much to choose from because it's a very niche topic, but I do love talking about it. So I decided that we should go in the way, way back machine and talk about an actual festival that occurred during the actual Renaissance.
This fucking counts. This fucking fully counts. You understood the assignment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You did.
So it's going to require some background info. And those of you who are supporters on Patreon will have heard my drunk dive about
Merkins?
royal inbreeding.
Oh, the Habsburg chin.
And the
The
Habsburg jaw, which I just wasn't able to like let
Get
go
over.
that time. Yeah.
Can you imagine how much
we're
room?
revisiting.
Can you imagine how much room for my adult acne there would be if I had a Habsburg chin?
Oh, the surface area.
It would be expansive
Yeah.
and expensive to manage.
All that
Well-
Accutane.
Yeah.
We're going to get to it.
Great.
So I just couldn't let go of Charles II, you know?
Never
He's
let
just
go.
So charismatic. And so we're going to talk about his second wedding.
Oh.
And the
I love a
festivities.
redo.
Yeah. Okay, so Maria Anna of Neuburg was born in 1667 in a palace near Dusseldorf and was a member of the House of Wittelsbach, a German dynasty with a long history of European rule, including three, count them, three Holy Roman emperors.
Wow.
There are photos of all of these people on the drive, and they will be on the blog, so definitely take a look.
Photographs?
No, sorry. Screenshots of portraits.
Oh, Charles
Of
II
these
is
people.
back.
God, I forgot how fucking ugly these people were.
Yeah. So check out Maria Anna of Neuburg. That's who we're currently talking
I
about.
love her bow.
Oh. She looks
Honey.
weird in the
Yeah.
chin, too.
Oh, she was a relative.
I
You
can
know,
see
they're all,
that.
they're all connected. So she would grow up to serve as Queen of Spain from 1689 to 1700, following her marriage to Charles II, the last Habsburg King of Spain, and also known as El Hechizado, or the Bewitched, because of his super inbred, fucked up everything.
Some of these
Ness.
portraits of Maria Anna are very severe.
Some of them are not flattering.
And
And
some of them, you
are
can
like stunning.
yeah,
Well, they photoshopped.
it's
It's an oil painting.
I know.
There's no
They
way.
the
took
original,
liberties.
the original
They took
face
liberties.
tune.
So, yeah, literally, yeah. Sometimes look at look at Maria Anna of Neuburg 2, and then compare that where it looks like her face is literally melting. Like half of her face is lower
Right.
than
And then
the other
number
half
3
of her.
is like
softest
pristine
jaw.
and beautiful.
Yeah, and then number 4 too. She looks like very pretty.
Number 5, we're swinging back the other way.
Yeah,
Big fan of the gown and the puff sleeve in 2, though.
Uh-huh.
the
Oh.
dresses are so much more like elaborate and ornate
They're
than
so cool. I'm getting some fair inspo.
right. I know if you wanted to be real Renaissance, you'd have to be like way more elaborate because
Listen, I'm putting putty on my chin, and I am fucking getting
Go
one
as
of these
Charles.
gowns.
Let's cosplay as the Habsburgs.
I want to go as Charles too. I have the hair for it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Maria Anna was Charles's second wife, like I said, following the death of his first wife, Marie Louise of Orléans, the same year. And there are pictures of her on the drive, and she's very beautiful and like very Spanish looking.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Oh,
cool,
the
dark haired
brows.
beauty,
Stun.
little share happening.
Mm.
Yeah. She does have great brows.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, the first wife died. No, they had no kids because Charles was Charles.
Mhm.
And so
Charles
then,
was not in charge.
yeah. And so now he's marrying his second wife. And Maria Anna was reportedly selected for the role because her family was famously fertile. She was herself one of 17 siblings.
God,
Nope.
no presh.
Bye-bye. I mean, thank God I will not be going down in history for being famously fertile.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, go ahead and be fertile, but I don't want to be like Duggar fertile. That is famously fertile, and it's not okay.
True.
No.
Yeah.
That is a crime.
Also, what is she supposed to do? Just because her parents were fucking all the time doesn't mean that she can, like, grow a baby out of nowhere from this king husband who, like, definitely cannot get it up.
Right.
yeah.
Anyway. So.
Sound off, honey. Sound off.
Let it out. Put it in the burn book.
So there are some theories for Charles's impotency. He had been king of Spain since he was 3 years old and suffered a range of ailments and disabilities, likely resulting from generations of inbreeding. And if you want details on that, which I believe you do,
Go to
check out-
Patreon.
Go to Patreon, check out my drunk dive.
It's
There are
very
charts.
thorough.
There are charts.
But just to sum up, he was so inbred that 25% of his genetic makeup was duplicate.
That's so much percent.
Yeah.
A quarter of his genes were
No.
identical.
No, we're good.
No. And don't they
We
say
are
that
good.
we're like 2 genes away from a banana? Like,
Yeah.
that'll fuck you up.
Yeah. There is not a lot of room to maneuver.
No.
When it
Listen,
comes to
I
genes.
am in a state of existential dread at all times. I can't handle factoids like we're 2% away or 2 genes away
Yeah.
from being a banana.
I'm Googling
We're-
it. It's not like it's
I'm-
going to affect you at this stage
Yeah,
of
you
You
development.
don't know. You don't know what could happen.
You're right. You're right. You could be a banana tomorrow.
I,
I'm going to need you to check in with me in the morning.
so I can be sure you're not a banana. Between the possibility that I could wake up a banana tomorrow and Lucy teaching me that fucking corpses can just be thumbing it down Highway 35, I will never be okay again.
They move.
I know.
They flap.
Okay. So what's interesting is that while he's super fucking inbred over multiple generations, again,
He's
chart.
so inbred that he just is bred.
Yeah.
He's 100%
banana bread.
He's banana.
He's
Anyway,
baked.
so what I found was so interesting is that he had older siblings that didn't seem to suffer the same effects. So
Maybe somebody's cheating.
maybe somebody's cheating. Thank God. Or,
Like, please cheat.
you know, sometimes you get with genes and whatever, they,
Stuff
each-
skips and
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Each time is different. So
Luck of the
Just-
draw. Sometimes you're a baby, sometimes you're a banana. There's no way to know.
just like whenever I try to bake sugar cookies and it's fucking luck of the draw. Every time
Girl.
is different. They're never the same.
Baking
Every time
is
is bad.
Baking is alchemy. It's sorcery.
Yeah.
Every time
It
is
really makes
bad.
sense.
The Amanda Jacobson story.
Yeah. Just cannot fucking make cookies to save my life. So,
It's so hard.
okay. So there are other theories that have been proposed to explain his unfortunate conditions.
His poor unfortunate soul.
So some of these include the fact that his father was 56 when he was born,
And was also his uncle.
And his own grandpa.
was his own great uncle.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
And everyone was like very nonplussed by the fact that his dad was 44 when Philip married his 14-year-old niece.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Yep.
good lord.
Yeah. And I think it was something like Charles was his mom's son and second cousin.
That makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Anyway. So another
Thanks for clearing that up.
Followed it. My
Ano-
brain does not hurt at all.
Another theory proposed was by an astrologer, and that went that when Charles's father died, when Charles was just 3 years old, he'd failed to give the boy a proper goodbye, And so this
He came back.
Charles was 3 when his dad died. And so they didn't get enough of a goodbye, apparently. And so the astrologer said that this caused Charles's impotence later in life.
Honey, no.
Okay.
And this
I
sounds
love a
insane.
creative solution to an interesting problem, but
Well, this sounds insane, but apparently it wasn't in the 17th century. And so after the astrologer made this proclamation, they fucking exhumed King Philip's body 20 plus years after his death
to ask him to give a proper goodbye to his son.
so that Charles could bid him farewell properly
Ish.
to
And then
cure
he
his
suddenly bore a
impotence.
son.
Did it work?
It didn't work. This touching
Boo.
ceremony sadly was not the Viagra pill that they hoped for.
Oh my.
But yeah, they
God.
fucking exhumed the king because an astrologer told them it would make the new king's dick work.
Well,
You
that
guys,
astrologer
we
has
are
egg
living-
on his face.
Or not.
We are living in the worst timeline. Like, I want to be there. Ish. First of all, ish. Second of all,
There was
I
no
wanna go-
egg on anyone's face.
or anywhere
Wow.
else.
I want to go back to a time where these were the things we were exploring.
You got ghosts in
Dig
your
'em
blood.
up.
Do cocaine
Dig
about
it up.
Fucking do you?
I feel like we're on our way and
We're
it's
close.
going great.
People
I
are
like an
drinking their own
aspirin.
piss rather than taking a vaccine. So
Listen,
yeah.
How else are you
this
going to
still
wash
exists.
down that horse medicine?
Oh my God.
Only piss.
So another explanation could be any of Charles's numerous childhood illnesses, including measles, chickenpox, rubella, and smallpox,
And lived.
and herpes as a child.
But I'm just amazed that he could have all of those co-occurring conditions in the Renaissance as an infant
Yeah.
and live to try to sire a child.
It's a miracle that he lived as long as
Miracle.
he did. He lived
Miracle.
into his 30s and nobody saw that coming.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So he was once famously described as, quote, short, lame, epileptic, senile, and completely bald before 35, always on the verge of death, but repeatedly baffling Christendom by continuing to live.
Continuing to live.
He was a fighter.
Yeah. So his years of rule were not a good time for the Spanish Empire.
He
It
really
was kind
took it on the chin.
No. No.
Oh, no.
See yourself
He
out.
took a bunch on the chin.
Oh, my God. So the empire had grown massively by like murdering and committing genocide and exploiting indigenous peoples around the world. And then, then they started to lose money and it wasn't great. So with no clear heir to this hugely powerful position, should Charles fail to have a son, the success of the second marriage was like this very important political matter. So poor Maria Anna was like,
The
I have to
world
fuck
on her shoulders.
him. I have to fuck him. That's
Poor
what I
girl.
have to do.
Oh,
Fucking
no.
oops all chin over here is
Yeah.
my new husband.
Oops, all chin.
Yikes.
So Charles was 28 years old. Many held out hope that against all odds, because again, one of his issues was that he had one completely shriveled testicle.
Ah, yes. How could we forget?
That
he would-
old chestnut.
Literally.
Literal chestnut.
That's exactly what it looks
It's
like.
a pistachio.
Look
A
at
shelled
chestnut.
Pistachio.
Chestnut.
Oh my God. Please Google a chestnut. Put a
that's
picture.
exactly what it
Put a
looks
picture
like.
of a chestnut
I
on the
will.
drive,
Don't
please.
ask me twice.
Just label it that old chestnut.
I can't wait for our like production assistant to be like, Kenyon, did you mean to have this photo
there-
on the website this week?
Is there a reason you have 13 photos of chestnuts on the drive?
You're like, yes, ma'am, we don't pay and ask questions.
Chestnut crimes.
Okay.
Just
Don't
kidding, Andrea.
tempt
We
them.
love you, and we would be dead without you.
We
need you.
would. We would. She knows that. She knows.
She knows because we tell her every day.
Okay, so
Please don't quit.
him getting it up And having a baby, specifically a boy, was a matter of national importance. And this succession crisis risked wreaking havoc for like the larger balance of power throughout Europe, which like that makes sense. Fucking monarchy makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So a lot was riding on 22-year-old Maria Anna's shoulders when she was selected as his second wife. A proxy wedding took place in August of 1689, a few months later than she departed Germany and sailed to Spain. So they basically were like married on paper before they were physically in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
Their marriage was celebrated by numerous Renaissance festivals.
Yes, now we're getting to it. I had completely forgotten why you were covering this, and I was fine with
I
it.
thought we were talking about chins.
Same.
So, on an occasion such as a significant royal marriage, it was not uncommon for cities to compete with one another to organize the most impressive festival to demonstrate their loyalty to the royal family.
Yeah, because if these already impoverished areas don't spend every dime they have impressing the monarchy as they like drive past in a cart,
Yep.
then what are we even fucking doing?
Well, hide all the dead bodies. Get them out of here.
Put them in the pile, put the tarp on
And
it.
then let's joust.
Love it.
So, by far the most lavish of the festivals celebrating their marriage took place in the Italian city of Naples. The festivities spanned an 8-month period.
Oh my God.
Yep.
That's a little long.
8 months.
That's a
How long was your wedding?
long.
8 months.
Months.
No, not your marriage, your wedding.
8 months. This
months.
wedding lasted longer than Kim Kardashian's marriage to that Minnesota
Basketball
gross guy.
boy. Yeah.
Oh, by a long shot.
Yeah. It involved multiple significant construction projects. It was like the fucking Olympics. And elaborate and costly events, despite the fact that the royal couple were never actually in attendance at any point.
They didn't even carte bay.
No,
Carte
because
blanche.
it's in Naples, and she's from Germany, and he's in Spain, and
I mean, yeah, who has the time?
yeah. So
Wow,
it's a crazy
that's
time.
real sad.
Naples' massive wedding celebration was intended as a peacemaking gesture. 43 years earlier, the city had unsuccessfully revolted against Spanish Habsburg rule, so they were still saying sorry 43 years later.
Well, it's never too late to apologize,
Yeah.
as they say.
Oh my God. So the prolonged festival was meant to once and for all proclaim devotion to the Habsburg king. Ironically, though, the massive expenditure of the festival was undertaken as Naples was again suffering under the burden of heavy taxation from that king.
Mm-hmm.
That was to pay for Spain's fucking lengthy and costly wars. So they had no money because they were being taxed by the people that they were then trying to impress.
It's just a little snake eating its own little tail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Despite food and supply shortages, the local government spared no cost for the celebration. And I'm basically just picturing like the Pentagon's budget every year just growing. And then like just the unhoused crisis, the opioid epidemic, fucking no universal health care, fucking COVID, fucking.
We're fine.
But we have jetpacks for the Navy. Like
Mhm.
literal flying
I saw
jetpacks.
those.
It's fine.
Highly
They're super
unnecessary.
cool. Super cool.
So some of the shit that they did for this Renaissance festival included the construction of an amphitheater in the shape of a parallelogram
Ooh.
Big deal.
Love a parallelogram.
that was painstakingly hand-painted to resemble marble. The entire amphitheater.
Wow.
my
Because they
God.
didn't have marble, I assume.
Yeah, I guess it would have been too expensive to like build it out of marble or
Makes
too permanent,
sense.
maybe.
Save that money, honey. And
Or they didn't have
quartz
enough time.
Is less porous and lasts longer anyway. So
Yeah, I would prefer. I wish I had quartz countertops. I have marble, and they are a bitch.
trash. Absolute
Fucking
trash. Ouch.
Jesus.
So this amphitheater would be the site of numerous events such as jousts and bullfights, scheduled to coincide with notable dates such as Maria Anna's arrival in Spain. So they just dragged it out and celebrated like, now she's leaving Germany. Let's have a party.
Oh,
now
my
she's
God.
arrived in Spain. Let's have a party. Oh, they've
No.
consummated their whatever, supposedly. Let's have a party.
My
Oh.
God.
Lucy, can you imagine a party lasting this long in your house?
I would burn my house down. I would move. I would burn. No. I had
The
to
most-
augment my banner that said, please leave by 9 to please leave by 8. Because
Yeah.
I couldn't find one that said, please leave by 8.
Yep.
What I meant was 7, but whatever.
Yes.
So the most extravagant feature of the festival, however, was a 500-foot-long artificial river that was filled with spring water.
I love that.
What?
Reminds me of the
Big tip.
hotel we stayed at in Nashville.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. The gay old Opry or whatever
The
hotel.
Gaylord
Opry
Gaylord
Land.
Opry Land. God.
The gay old Lord Opry.
The gay old Opry Lord Hotel.
We got there.
Yeah. The fake river. They built a fake river. So the Renaissance was bonkers. They were able to do such amazing things, and then they understood like nothing about how the body worked. It was like
I mean, same.
such a bizarre time.
So weird.
Like no germ theory, but we can like fully
Build a river.
build a river for
Right.
funsies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but I
Yeah.
love it.
I'll take
So
it.
the river was lined on either side with 90 fountains and ended at an artificial grotto where people could like frolic. Yep. On the date of Charles and Maria Anna's marriage, an elaborate spectacle was staged on the river, which included a shell-shaped boat containing figures meant to represent Amor, the god of love, Hymen, the god of marriage ceremonies.
Hymen. Is that why it's called
No.
Hymen?
It
Yes.
must be.
Literally,
Is
yes.
it spelled the same? Oh my
Yes.
God. Oh no.
Yep. Yep.
That's so
And-
gross. Oh my
Uh-huh.
Love it. I
Yeah.
want to get another cat and name her Hymen.
You should.
Hymen.
Pepperoni and Hymen.
And then when you have to bring her to the vet, Hymen is broken.
My Hymen
Hymen
is
is-
broken.
Hymen's bleeding.
My Hymen is bleeding.
Pet too hard, broke my hymen. I tried to brush my hymen and it just did not go well.
Fed her dry food, broke my hymen.
That's why you should never take your cat horseback riding. Am I right?
You're
Never.
right. I do not stand for it.
I love that she's not the god, or he, I don't even know, is
Yeah.
not the god of marriage. The
Marriage
god of
ceremonies.
marriage ceremonies.
Well, for
Yeah.
a long time, and in a lot of European
Oh.
cultures, it was like a public
Oh.
fucking act, and then they had to look for the blood.
Oh,
Fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I hate that. I know, and I hate it.
Yeah. And Lucina, the goddess of childbirth.
Okay, great.
So figures pulling the boat were made to resemble 2 dolphins, Amanda's favorite,
No.
12 mermaids,
Merman.
and 6 tritons.
2 mermaids, 2 dolphins, 12 mermaids, 6 tritons, and a hymen in a pear tree.
In a shell boat.
In a shell
And a huge
board.
fake marble amphitheater.
Love.
So, in addition to loyalty to Spain, the imagery of this spectacle was also clearly designed to display a hope that the marriage would produce an heir, because there's a
You
lot
don't
of like
say fertility.
fertility shit.
Hymen.
I just wanted us to like imagine the Renfest in Shakopee, but with
As
some
this.
of these elements.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as was traditional at the time, details of the festival were recorded and preserved in an elaborate festival book meant to commemorate the event and provide a lasting record of Naples' loyalty, which is kind of like a
Now
concert.
known as Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was for people who couldn't make it,
Yeah.
spread information.
To brag online.
Although these books were often beautiful artifacts, one source cautions that, quote, their contents should not be taken at face value.
Oh.
Festival books were, in fact, formidable instruments of political propaganda through their authors' careful editing of the events to further political agendas, i.e. Instagram.
Got it. Okay, so
Yeah.
this social media presence
Has always
versus
existed.
reality has existed for fucking ever. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Big time. It was a little bit more controlled by the state,
Sure.
but yeah.
Interesting.
I'm drinking more wine because I'm not slurring enough. It's
Go,
fine.
honey. Down the hatch.
Okay. Meanwhile, back in Spain, not anywhere near any of these festivities, Maria Anna no doubt soon realized that she was in a hopeless situation. So she had to just look out for herself and figure out her own agenda.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, there's no way she's bearing an heir with Charles.
Yeah.
According to one contemporary source, quote, the queen has acquired such a dominion over the spirit of her husband. And again, he also had like cognitive
Yeah. Issues.
issues and
It was not a good sitch.
no. That it may be said that she alone reigns as sovereign of Spain. The authority of the queen, however, is founded rather upon the fear of her anger than upon any love for her on the part of the nation.
Huh.
There's no people in the world so sensitive of praise as the Spaniards
Okay.
and consequent or Libras.
Yeah. Hold my beer. Okay.
Okay, watch me.
Hold
okay,
my
whatever.
beer.
Hold my high noon. And consequently, none who are so much affected by contempt. The queen professes contempt for the whole nation. And as
Good for her.
she was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Why have I been brought here? This is impossible. I can't do any of this. And I'm really sad and alone. So I want pretty dresses and jewelry.
Yep.
basically.
Yeah. It's the least you could fucking do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Back to this quote, wherever the fuck I was. Contempt. As offensive discourse is the only revenge for those who are excluded from power, it is not surprising to hear all the evil things that the public detestation causes to be said about her. It is, however, very true that she gives plenty of reasons for the reproaches leveled against her. So basically, she is a bitch. Like, everybody hates her, but she is a bitch.
Yeah. All right. Fair.
She's got every fucking right to be.
Yeah. You're allowed to be a bitch in
With
these
her-
circumstances.
Yeah. With her regard to her avidity in receiving and extorting presents, there is no one more ingenious than she in finding excuses for appropriating everything that is valuable in Madrid and for amassing everyday fresh treasure for herself.
Get it.
Wow. Must hurt, huh? I wonder how terrible that must be.
Yeah. To have the 1%.
She's doing what we do to everyone else, and I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. But still, Maria Anna was undoubtedly aware that her only real power lay in her ability to produce an heir, which was fucking impossible. And the more time passed, the closer her husband came to death,
Yeah.
and the more difficult it would be. So to cope, she kind of claimed that she was pregnant on various occasions.
Who
and,
wouldn't? She pulled a
miscarried.
Kelly.
Oh yeah, she gained some time. Yeah, a Kelly
Yep.
Kapoor.
Kelly Kapoor. I would do the same fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she did that a few times, probably never was actually pregnant. She also succeeded in deflecting much of the blame, though, for this lack of an heir onto Charles because, fucking look at him.
Yeah.
And she also problematically, but in our eyes, but at the time very normally, had him undergo multiple exorcisms.
Well,
Yeah.
there's ghosts in your blood. Do cocaine about it.
Yeah. And
I
again,
want an
his nickname was
exorcism.
the Bewitched.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So then in 1698, Charles grew seriously ill, and most believe that his death was imminent, although he did cling on for 2 more years somehow.
A real Helen situation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Everybody fucking went to Pennsylvania.
It was
they
a
rented
whole
a
thing.
car.
She was
And then
all
he was-
mad that he couldn't go to Olive Garden.
Yeah. You know the drill.
You were dead yesterday.
Yeah. And she's,
What are you doing here?
put the rest of my jewelry on me.
Yeah, seriously. I'm not dressed, she said.
Drape me.
Covered in her jewels. God.
If she had said, I want to be buried with all my jewelry, would you guys have done it?
No. Are you kidding?
Selfish.
Absolutely not. First of all, she didn't have like a ton that was even valuable at that point. It was the jewelry she liked to wear was all of her costume jewelry, which like fine, fucking bury her with it, whatever.
Right.
I'm just not burying that bitch with her wedding set. It's not happening.
No.
My sister got her first one. Not first marriage, but like the OG, and then she upgraded, and that one's mine, and it's not going down in the box with you, Grandma. I don't care what you say.
It's not going down in the box with ya.
It's not going down in the box with you. She got cremated anyway.
Whatever, it's fine. It was
She's
just a good
fucking
question.
fine. It was also like in her wishes that she had like pre-written an obit, and I was like, we're not publishing that.
That's
No.
too boring.
I got this.
So they're trying to figure out the successor. I'm not going to get into all the details, whatever. Maria Anna had her candidate, and they had one candidate, but then he died of smallpox, whatever.
Classic.
All kinds of shit back and forth. So when Charles finally died in 1700 at the age of 38, the empire fell into chaos, and there was the War of Spanish Succession, and it lasted like 10 years and blah, blah, blah. And also his personal confessor was tried after his death for bewitching him by the Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expects it.
But like somehow he was acquitted, thank God. I think because they were like, clearly Charles was fucked up way before this guy came into the picture. So like it's not his fault. So there's that. The war and the different factions, whatever, really fucked up Maria Anna's retirement. And again, she was like maybe 30 at this point.
Right. But that's fucking old in the Renaissance.
Yeah. So she's exiled, all kinds of shit. She's able to come back for a bit She's able to come back for a bit. Then she's exiled again. People gain power, lose power, whatever.
What
Finally,
I wouldn't give to be exiled.
Well, I sure hope you liked that clip. If you did like that clip, make sure you are subscribing to our YouTube channel, leaving us a nice review, and joining us on Patreon for even more video content, audio content, salacious content all around. Come join us. Treat yourself.